Do you guys ever feel like you're getting stagnant in life? Like the goals that you set seem so daunting and so hard to accomplish? I used to feel that way too, and I realized that setting systems was the solution for me to start accomplishing my goals and being the person that I wanted to be. So if you're new to this concept, you probably are wondering, what exactly is a system and how is it going to help me? Systems are methodologies or small simple habits you can start incorporating into your daily life that will help you be more productive and get more done with less time. They can help you organize and prioritize your tasks and make everything just much more efficient. So an example of a system would be putting away your clothes after you wear them or after you're done using them, instead of just throwing them on that chair or table on the side of your bedroom. And by incorporating that small habit of just hanging up your jacket once you're done with it or folding your clothes and putting away once you're done with it, will leave you not having to clean a super messy room every couple of days. So that's an example of a system. Systems are there to support your goals. So I think it's important to have both systems and goals. The reason for that is because the goal is kind of the North Star. The system helps you achieve that goal. And the sad thing is that I feel like goals kind of have a bad rep. People think that once I achieve my goal, I'm gonna be really happy. And then a lot of times they realize that once their goal is achieved, they're not happy yet, because as humans, intrinsically, we always want more. I think it's really important to kind of change your perspective on goals. Not to say that you shouldn't have them anymore, but just to change the way that you approach them. So a good perspective on goals and the way you should view them is that, again, the goal is the North Star. They show you the direction that you want to be doing things. And achieving a goal is like surpassing a new milestone. Celebrate the wins in your journey. See it as a bigger picture thing. And lastly, goals give you life purpose. Instead of just going through the motions of life and the day-to-day of work and sleep and watching TV, actually know what you want to do and what you want to achieve and the kind of person that you want to become. These actionable goals that you can write down and check off are going to be so crucial to your growth, and there's something that you can always look back and measure on. So a week from now, a month from now, or at the end of the year, you can look back and see all the things that you accomplished. So the process for setting systems is actually really simple. You identify what your goals are, and then you set systems for you to best achieve those goals. So an example of a goal would be to say that I want to be a more sociable person, I want to go out more, see my friends more, and the system I would put in place for that would be to set up a recurring weekly time block for when you want to hang out with your friends, and a recurring weekly calendar reminder a couple days before, reminding you to make plans to see your friends. And another example of a goal could be I want to read a book a month, and the system that I would put in place for that would be to just read 5 pages a day, or 10 pages, or 20 pages, or 1 chapter, like whatever seems feasible for you. And it's those consistent daily habits where you continue to build this into your routine and your lifestyle that in the long run, when you look back, you'll say, oh yeah, I read a book a month, or I read every day, and people can identify that as something that's a part of you. Which is why it's really important to understand who you are and who you want to become, and put those into actionable goals where you can kind of trickle down and then create the systems for them. So what's the point of creating systems? I personally think that creating a system is kind of like creating a balance between self-acceptance and self-improvement. You're recognizing who you are at the moment and looking at who you want to become. It's not saying that you don't like who you are. It's realizing who you are at the present moment and wondering how you can improve to be the person that you would like to be. It's a super popular opinion that people think that goals make you focus on the destination and not the journey, which is why a lot of goals are really hard to achieve and why people don't end up being able to accomplish their New Year's resolutions. Like if my New Year's resolution was I want to read 10 books by the end of the year, like that could seem so daunting. Or if I said like, oh, I want to start a company, I want to start a YouTube channel, like those words or those goals can just seem so intimidating that people don't even want to get started anymore. So that's why it's really important to pair goals with systems. And with doing so, I think people will really shift the focus on the destination to understanding the rewards of channeling focused energy in a process. And what I mean by focused energy, I mean you want to focus on the things that are important to you, the things that are essential to you, and the things that you want to identify with. with. And with getting the right things done, you have to make a choice to invest in yourself, whether it's with time or money, and then spend that investment of time or money on yourself. Because at the end of the day, you are you and you are stuck with yourself for the rest of your life. So you might as well make yourself someone that you actually like. So some of my systems that I have in place, one that I've had for the longest time is just a basic to-do list. And the reason for that is because I want to identify as a productive person. I want people to look at me and be like, dang, how does she get all of that stuff done with all the stuff that she has going on? And I personally think that it's really nice to cross things off a list. And so yeah, I do to-do lists. I also have like basic hygiene routines that I generally try to follow. Some of those are like doing all my dishes right after I'm done using them, or doing them all at nighttime. But regardless of which one I choose to do, all the dishes are done by the end of the day. The second one is putting all the dishes back to where they belong at the beginning of each day. And so everything is exactly where I need it to be before my day even starts. Another one is if I have 5 minutes of spare time, whether I'm waiting for something to cook, waiting for a friend, waiting for a meeting to start, I will do something productive, but whether it's some Duolingo or reading some books. Like, I think it's really important to make use of those few minutes, because what you do with those few spare minutes can really compound over time. I'm a huge fan of doing your most difficult tasks first and getting those out of the way. I'm also a huge fan of thinking about your most important task of the day for every single day and making sure that you accomplish those. And the reason for that is so that every day is at least productive in at least one thing. There's two big identity things that I like to work towards. So I want to be a fit and healthy person with glowing skin and nice soft hair. And so in order to achieve that, I've built the systems of eating healthy. So like eating dark leafy greens as well as colorful fruits and vegetables, drinking lots of water, exercising frequently. Another thing is that I want to identify as a organized and a respectful person. So someone who is never late and never forgets a birthday, something important, or a hangout. And the system I've created to support that is to use my calendar religiously. Like, my calendar always shows what I'm doing for that day, that week, that month, and it's broken down to like the location, the time, who I'm seeing. So yeah, those are just my systems that I've put in place and my daily habits to be like kind of the person that I want to become. Honestly, I think it's so important to set systems. I have a lot of focus and I talk a lot about setting goals, but at the end of the day, if you don't set the systems to support your goals, you're not going to end up achieving your goals. And these systems will make your life easier in the long run. You'll be more productive and more efficient. So like, who doesn't want that? Like, set yourself up for success is something that I constantly remind myself to do. And lastly, it like turns you into the person that you want to become. Like, look at yourself and think like, are you happy with who you are? And if you are, that's great. Continue doing what you're doing. If you're not, if you think that you can improve in work or in life or in friendships or whatever it is, like, think about how you want to improve and then set those goals, set those systems, and just get started. Cool, so that was my video about setting systems. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!